Hey there folks, I'm back with another speed paint video for you guys. And just like last week, we're going to be doing another Pokemon / Neopets speed paint, where I draw a Pokemon in the style of different Neopets paintbrushes. This week we are not doing Xatu, instead we are doing my friend Erclo's favorite Pokemon, Banette. I've already done a Banette related speed paint during my first video, which you can see with the card here, and I felt like Banette was a very appropriate choice for this challenge. After all, it's already very toy-like, it's very much a strange little creature, and I felt like it lent itself quite well to a lot of the Neopets brush designs. So naturally, I decided to go with it for this week's video. So this one goes out to you, Erclo. I know you love Banette, so have some wonderful little Banette art. Our first Banette design is going to be with the plushie brush, which, I mean, how could I not do the plushie brush? It is literally made with Banette in mind. Not really, but it's very, very fitting considering Banette is a discarded toy. Instead of being discarded, I really wanted this Banette to look like it was well-loved, well-used, constantly patched and being repaired. It's really a Ship of Theseus sort of toy. I gave it lots of fun patches with different patterns and textures and stuff. I also gave it a light blue palette for the main part of its body. That's because, 1, light blue is Banette's shiny color, and I thought it would be fun to allude to that. And 2, many of the official Neopets plushie designs feature the color blue in some way or another, and I felt like it would make it look like part of that set. I had a lot of trouble with the eyes originally. I was originally going to draw them as traditional circular buttons, but when I was sketching them out and doing the line art, it looked really upsetting. Banette just was not built to have round eyes. So I ended up making buttons in the shape of the actual Banette's eyes, and I think it looks a lot better. I just gave them little stitches there, and I think it really sells that toy-like look. Doing the stitches all over its body really helped to add that texture, even though I didn't add a lot of rendering to this piece, since it is just a flat character design. But I think the stitches add quite a bit. I think the patterns really help this design pop and make it look a little bit more busy than just the base Banette design. It really embraces what makes the plushie paintbrush so great, and it's that mix of media and colors and patterns. I really wanted this guy to look very smug and happy, and I think it came out really cute, very sweet. I had a lot of fun with this one, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. Our next Banette design is going to be the Cloud Banette. Now the Cloud paintbrush is a little bit plain as far as Neopets paintbrushes go. It doesn't really change a lot about the pet or their outline or their design. It just applies this sky-like coloration and gives them a lot of clouds, which, I mean, it's simple but very effective. It surprised me how purpley the palette they use for this is in the official art. I kind of remembered it being a little bit more sky blue, but it's actually kind of close to a very white ultramarine, with the sky blue only really being used as accents. So that's essentially the approach I took with the Banette design. I used light blue, again another shiny reference, but also that's just the color palette of this paintbrush, and predominantly used that sort of purpley color and put clouds on it. For this design, I really wanted it to look like this Banette was wearing pajamas, like it's wearing a nightcap and a onesie, so it would look extra cozy, having sweet dreams. I'm not exactly sure why I associate clouds and dreams together. Is it just the video games I play that use a lot of clouds and dreams together? It could be. This final piece ended up reminding me a lot of Dreamcore images that people post online, which I find very fun to look at, so it's no surprise that that has wormed its way into my visual vocabulary. The eye color was very interesting. I actually looked at the official Neopets art and saw that a lot of them have yellow colored eyes for this design, and I'm not really sure why that is. I have to assume it's just a visual thing because not all of them have it. But I felt like it was appropriate for this color palette because it sort of reminds me of the sun in the sky, at least in a cartoony sense. It's usually depicted as yellow. Plus, I felt like it gave a good amount of contrast and made the eye stick out from the face, and it matches the highlights on the clouds in the background, which I tried to use a more yellowy hue for, that way they wouldn't seem so monotone. I made the back of the head a little bit more wispy. This usually is not a thing they do in actual Neopets cloud designs. I don't think they do a lot to change the silhouette. But I thought it would be fun to make this design just a little bit more cloudy, cloud-like, vaporous. I thought that adding those little bits would really help the silhouette stand out from the other two. I had a lot of fun with this, I'm pretty happy with how it came out, and I hope you guys enjoy it as well. Last, but certainly not least, we have the Valentine Banette using the Valentine brush from Neopets. Now, the Valentine brush is pretty interesting. I feel like there's a good amount of approaches that they use, but for the most part, the pets are usually a mid-color pink with white accents, and all over the body are a bunch of different hearts, usually a dark and a light on the pink, and then just a darker one on the white accents. And as a result, these look very busy and fun. They kind of look like novelty fabrics you might use on a quilt. And I thought it would be fun to really embrace that approach with this Banette design. As opposed to the canonical Banette, who is a little spiteful out of being abandoned, I thought that this one would be very spoiled rotten and very smug, which I felt was appropriate for the Valentine theme. I did not do a lot of stitches on this one, unlike the plushie one. Instead, I really tried to make it just look very busy, since I do feel like the heart designs are a little busy. Unlike the real Neopets art, I actually gave these hearts some direction that kind of follow the curves of its body. In the official Neopets art, I believe the hearts are just an up and down pattern that go up where the image goes up, as opposed to following the curves of each individual pet, which is probably a lot easier to do when they have to do so many designs. But I thought it would be fun to make it follow the curves for this illustration, and I think it gave it a little bit of extra shape, although it was kind of a huge pain in the butt. I'm sure like a quarter of this time lapse is just going to be me hand drawing all of these hearts on this design, and I think it was worth it for the overall look, but boy howdy was it a large portion of the process on this piece. I had fun making the eyes like this very dark red. Most of this color palette is white and pink, but I felt like adding red was very appropriate for the Valentine's theme, and it made those eyes extra dark to really stand out against that pink face. I also gave it heart-shaped pupils because I thought that would be extremely appropriate. I tried to round out a lot of the shapes on Banette's body. I tried to make it look a little more friendly and approachable, at least in terms of the silhouette and overall shapes, as opposed to the somewhat crinkly, sharp sort of shape that canonical Banette has. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this design. It seems very happy with it as well. The way it smiles at me is really funny, so I'm pretty happy with it, and I hope you guys enjoy it as well. And at long last, we are done with the Banette designs. I hope you guys really enjoyed them. I had a lot of fun making them this week. Banette, like I said, really lends itself to Neopets type redesigns, and I thought this would be a lot of fun, and it sure was. I had a blast doing it. I kind of want to do more Banette ones in the future. If you guys have any more ideas for Pokemon you would like to see as Neopet brushes, or Neopet brushes you would like to see applied to Pokemon, please let me know in the comments, because I am looking for more ideas for doing this. I really, really want to do even more of these because they're just a lot of fun as an art challenge. It's July, which means it is still art fight season. So, if you would like to art fight me, my username is Aquaspider, and I am on Team Stardust. I also have a bunch of my friends' profiles linked on my profile page, so if you are on Team Stardust but don't want a friendly fire, I am sure that my Seafoam friends will highly appreciate any attacks. So, I hope you guys have fun doing the fight, and I hope to see you in there. If you would like to support me, I recommend checking out my Ko-fi page. I have monthly memberships, a shop, commissions, all sorts of stuff on there. So if you would like to support me, that is probably your best way of doing that. I'm hoping to move sometime next year, so any support would really help me achieve that goal. Plus, it would let me know that you guys are enjoying what I'm doing here, and hopefully free up my schedule so I don't have to take as many shifts at work, so I can spend more time making these sort of art videos that you guys like. And with that, I believe that's all I have for you guys today, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching these speed paints, and go out there and make some art.